Active minds. Zoom into space. Mercury, the high-speed planet. By Ellen Lawrence. Welcome to Mercury. Imagine a world that is millions of miles from Earth. In every direction, the land is rocky and covered with large holes called craters. The Sun looks 3 times larger than it does from Earth. During the day, it is so hot that some metals would melt. At night, it is much colder than the coldest place on Earth. Welcome to the planet Mercury. A human could not visit Mercury because it is too hot in the daytime. Spacecraft have explored the planet, however, from just above its surface. Craters. This picture of the craters on Mercury's surface was taken by a spacecraft called Messenger. The Solar System. Mercury is moving through space at about 106,000 miles per hour, 170,500 kilometers per hour. It is moving around the Sun in an oval or egg-shaped path. Mercury is one of 8 planets circling the Sun. The planets are called Mercury, Venus, our home planet Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Icy comets and rocky asteroids are also moving around the Sun. Together, the Sun, the planets, and other space objects are called the Solar System. Most of the asteroids orbiting the Sun are in a ring called the asteroid belt. An asteroid. The Solar System. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. Comet. Uranus. Neptune. Jupiter. Mars. Sun. Mercury, Earth, Pluto, Venus, asteroid belt, Saturn. The solar system is home to small planets called dwarf planets. Pluto is a dwarf planet. Mercury's amazing journey. The time it takes a planet to orbit or circle the Sun once is called its year. Earth takes just over 365 days to orbit the Sun, so a year on Earth lasts 365 days. Mercury is much closer to the Sun than Earth, so it makes a much shorter journey. It takes Mercury about 88 Earth days to orbit the Sun. This means that for every year on Earth, Mercury has about 4 years of its own. As a planet orbits the Sun, it also spins, or rotates, like a top. Mercury. To orbit the Sun once, Earth makes a journey of about 584 million miles, 940 million kilometers. Mercury's journey is only about 224 million miles, 360 million kilometers. Mars. Sun. Mercury. Earth. Venus. A closer look at Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. It is much smaller than Earth and just slightly larger than Earth's moon. Our home planet Earth is covered with a thick layer of gases called an atmosphere. It's these gases that make Earth's sky look blue. Mercury does not have a thick atmosphere like Earth's. From Mercury, the sky looks black during the day and at night. How big is Mercury? Mercury. The Moon. Earth. A planet's atmosphere blocks some of the Sun's heat. Mercury has almost no atmosphere, and it is close to the Sun. That's why Mercury gets so hot in the daytime. At night, a planet's atmosphere traps some of the daytime heat. Mercury is super cold at night because all its heat escapes. Black sky. The surface of Mercury. Small planet, huge crater. The surface of Mercury is covered with craters. These craters were made by asteroids, meteoroids, and comets that hit the planet's surface. Mercury is also home to some truly giant craters called impact basins. The planet's largest impact basin is about 930 miles, 1,500 kilometers wide. It's large enough that the entire state of Texas could fit inside. Large crater. Small crater inside the large crater. When small rocky space objects hit a planet's atmosphere, they break apart or burn up. Mercury's very thin atmosphere cannot stop these rocks, so its surface gets hit again and again. Mercury's gigantic impact basin is called the Caloris Basin. The large yellow area on this picture of Mercury is the Caloris Basin. The Caloris Basin. Tiny Mercury, giant sun. Every few years, Mercury can be seen from Earth as it passes in front of the Sun. This movement across the Sun is called a transit. As Mercury moves across the giant Sun, the planet looks like a tiny dot. Sunspot. People should never look directly at the Sun because it will badly damage their eyes. So scientists use special equipment to photograph a transit. Then everyone can safely look at photos of this amazing event. Sunspot. The Sun. This photo shows Mercury passing in front of the Sun in November 2006. Sunspots. Mercury. The dark patches on the Sun are sunspots. Sunspots are areas that are cooler than the rest of the Sun's surface. A mission to Mercury. In August 2004, a rocket blasted off from Earth. Aboard the rocket was a space probe called Messenger. Messenger's mission was to travel to Mercury and study the planet. It took 6.5 years for Messenger to reach its destination. In March 2011, the space probe began orbiting Mercury. Rocket. Messenger blasts off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, in 2004 aboard a rocket. Messenger. A crater on Mercury. Sunshade. This picture shows how Messenger might have looked orbiting Mercury. Sometimes it was just 120 miles, 200 kilometers, above the planet's surface. Amazing discoveries. During its mission, Messenger discovered that there is ice on superhot Mercury. The ice is at the bottom of craters. The craters are so deep that the sun's heat and light never reach the ice. Messenger also took photos of huge cliffs on the planet's surface. In October 2018, a new spacecraft carrying 2 satellites left Earth headed for Mercury. Named the Bepi-Colombo mission, the satellites will begin studying Mercury in December 2025. Messenger took this picture of craters at Mercury's south pole. Cliffs. This picture was created on a computer using information from Messenger. It shows the giant cliffs on Mercury. The cliffs can be 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers high, and hundreds of miles long. Bepi-Colombo leaving Earth. The 2 Bepi-Colombo satellites will separate from the spacecraft and orbit around Mercury. They will study how the planet formed. They will also collect information about the surface and the inside of Mercury. Mercury Fact File. Here are some key facts about Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun. Discovery of Mercury. Mercury can be seen in the sky without a telescope. People have known it was there since ancient times. How Mercury got its name. The planet is named after Mercury, the ancient Romans' messenger of the gods. Planet sizes. This picture shows the sizes of the solar system's planets compared to each other. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Mercury size: 3,032 miles, 4,879 kilometers across. How long it takes for Mercury to rotate once? 1,408 Earth hours. Mercury's distance from the Sun. The closest Mercury gets to the Sun is 28,583,702 miles, 46,001,009 kilometers. The farthest Mercury gets from the Sun is 43,382,549 miles, 69,817,445 kilometers. Length of Mercury's orbit around the Sun: 223,679,248 miles, 359,976,856 kilometers. Sun, Mercury. Mercury's orbit. Average speed at which Mercury orbits the Sun: 105,946 miles per hour, 170,503 kilometers per hour. Length of a year on Mercury: 88 Earth days. Moons. Mercury has no moons. Temperature on Mercury: highest 801 degrees Fahrenheit, 427 degrees Celsius. Lowest negative 279 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 173 degrees Celsius. Get crafty. Crater maker. Rocky space objects hit the surface of Mercury and make craters. Using pebbles and plaster of Paris, you can make a model of Mercury's craters. You will need a bowl, plaster of Paris, water, a spoon, a foil pie tin, newspaper, pebbles or small pieces of rock. Crater. 1. Put the plaster of Paris into the bowl. Add some water and stir until the mix looks like smooth pancake batter. Keep adding plaster or water until the mix is right. You will need enough mix to fill the pie tin. 2. Pour the mix into the pie tin and place the tin on the floor on top of some newspaper. Now, wait for the mix to start setting. Keep touching the mix with your finger. When it feels like ice cream, that is just getting soft, it's time to make craters. Plaster mix. Pebble. 3. Drop a pebble into the pie tin. It will make a crater in the plaster mix. Quickly and carefully remove the pebble, then try again with a different pebble. 4. When the plaster mix is covered with craters, leave the plaster to set hard. This should take about 30 minutes. Then carefully remove your model from the pie tin. Glossary. Asteroid. A large rock that is orbiting the Sun. An asteroid can be as small as a car or bigger than a mountain. Atmosphere. A layer of gases around a planet, moon, or star. Comet. A space object made of ice, rock, and dust that is orbiting the Sun. Crater. A bowl-shaped hole in the ground. Craters are often caused by asteroids and other large rocky objects hitting the surface of a planet or moon. Dwarf planet. A round object in space that is orbiting the Sun. Dwarf planets are much smaller than the 8 main planets. Impact basin. A very large crater that can be hundreds of miles wide. Meteoroid. A small piece of rock or other material in space, usually one that is broken free from an asteroid or a comet. Orbit. To circle or move around another object. Planet. A large object in space that is orbiting the Sun. Some planets, such as Mercury and Earth, are made of rock. Others, such as Jupiter, are made of gases and liquids. Probe. A spacecraft that does not have any people aboard. Probes are usually sent to planets or other objects in space to take photographs and collect information. They are usually controlled by scientists on Earth. Rotate. To spin around. Solar system. The Sun and all the objects that orbit it, such as planets, their moons, asteroids, and comets. Transit. The passing of a small object in space across the face of a larger object. For example, the passing of Mercury across the face of the Sun is a transit of the Sun by Mercury.